What's up guys? Today I've got my hands on the UGOOS SK1 Android streaming box. Wait till you see this one. Now this box is pretty jam-packed with lots of great features. We've got official licenses from Google Widevine L1, Dolby Vision, Dolby ATMOS, DTS HD and lots more. Alright, so let's quickly run through the specs. So this box is powered by the S928X-K Penta-core clocked at 2 GHz. For graphics we have the integrated Mali G57 with 8 gigs of LPDDR4 RAM and 128 gigs of EMMC internal storage. This box features Wi-Fi 6, a Gigabit LAN, we've got Bluetooth 5.2. This is running the full version of Android 11. This features HDMI 2.1a, supports 4K 60 with HDR, and apparently it does also support 8K. You've got Dolby Vision and Dolby ATMOS, Widevine L1, and this also supports the AV1 codec. Quick look at what you get inside the box. So inside the box you get a user manual, HDMI cable, a power supply, and I'll give you a close-up of the voltage information. A Bluetooth voice remote is included. You can see it's pretty feature-packed remote, and it is powered by 2 AAA batteries, which are not included in the box. And last, but certainly not least, the TV box itself. Now design-wise, this box is made from a smooth glassy finish on top, and you can see every time the light reflects to it, you get this really nice effect where the light follows it. If I switch that light off, you'll see what happens. There's no effect, but with my camera light, the light reflects on it, and it does look pretty awesome. Now you've got the UGOOS logo there. On the front, you can see it says Dolby Vision, Dolby ATMOS, DTS HD, HDMI, and 8K. On the side, there is nothing. On the back, we've got power socket, USB 3, USB 2. We've got a Gigabit LAN, HDMI 2.1a, optical audio. We've got an audio jack. If we keep going, nothing on this side, and that brings us back to the front of the box.
Now first of all, I ran a boot up speed test, and you can see the results on screen, how long it took to load to the home screen from a cold start. And here is the home screen. So this is full Android 11. So yes, slightly outdated version, but a highly customized version of Android 11. We have a full tablet/desktop layout with time and connection info on the top bar. You can also use a mouse to drag down the notification bar, which also has some quick toggles that you can play around with. There is also a bottom navigation bar, which you can hide and show using a mouse. All icons you see can be rearranged as you please. Now, first time you power on, you're going to see a few default apps displayed. If you click in the middle, that's going to show you your app drawer. That is all the apps installed on the box as standard. So it's quite a few apps not installed. So there is no YouTube, Disney or Prime, but fortunately you do have the Google Play Store. And as you guys can see, this is the full version of the Google Play Store where you can download all your favorite games and apps. Now, if we head over to the main system settings, go to device preferences and check out the system storage info. So we already know this box has 128 gigs of internal storage, from which 116 gigs are actually free to use. If we go back to about and check out the Android versions, you can see there it says Android version 11, model number SK1. You've got firmware and kernel and build numbers there as well. Now under display and sound, if we have a quick look at resolution, you can see that display mode is set to 4K 60 resolution, and it can automatically switch to the best resolution available. Okay, and under color, you can see we have color modes, and it's set to 10-bit by default. HDR policy is set to adaptive, but you have some other options there to play with. If we go back, you can activate advanced HDR to SDR, and I'm not sure why you would want to do that. We've got video picture settings, so where you can actually activate and deactivate profiles, and you can fine tune the brightness, color, saturation and hue. So for example, you can see there we're playing around with the brightness, the contrast, and it changes in real time. I'm going to deactivate this picture custom preset, but if you wanted to activate it, you can activate it at any time. We've got positioning for screen height and screen width. Automatic frame rate is off by default, but you can switch that on if you need to, and it can also switch frame rate and resolution at the same time, with a few other options below that you can play around with. So as you guys can see, lots of customization options. Recent application window tile settings, so you can customize that as well along with the background. hardware monitor, where it will show you an overlay of certain metrics that you select, so CPU temperature, frequency, load, and there are many other options that you can choose from. So that is basically an overlay that you can activate anytime you like. I'm going to leave it off for now. Home screen, you've actually got two. So you've got the desktop style screen, and then you can switch to UL launcher. Very quickly show you what that looks like. So that's UL launcher. So it's a minimalistic launcher. So you select all your favorite apps and they'll just appear as icons. So it gives you a nice, easy to navigate home screen with a page full of your favorite apps, which you can organize exactly how you want them. All right, so back to the default home screen. And then animations can also be customized from here. You don't need to go into developer options for this. Now under power options, we've got power indicator, which can be customized. The power indicator, which is a light bar on the front of the TV box. So you can adjust the brightness if you think that light bar is too powerful on the front, and you have a few other options there. The color you can select, it's green by default. I think I'm going to choose blue. Adjust it when sleeping, when hibernating, and so on and so forth. Other options for stay awake, screensaver, energy saver, power key and timer actions you have there. When power is applied, turn on, sleep, turn off. You can lock the CPU and GPU at its highest speed, which I am about to do. Super user is available, so if you know what you're doing, this box can be rooted by flicking that switch. So by default, that is off. So as you guys just saw, a highly customizable Android TV box. Alright, so it's time to run a few tests. The first test I like doing is screen mirroring. Now, this TV box does support screen mirroring for both Android and iOS. And the app we need to open is Miracast. So any second now, you should see my screen mirrored. And there you go. Android screen mirrored beautifully with very minimal lag. Okay, so I'm just going to disconnect this. And now we're going to test out AirScreen, which is screen mirroring for our iOS devices. So I'm connecting with my iPhone 14 Pro. And as you guys can see, quick and easy to connect. And my iPhone screen has been mirrored. And it's a pretty smooth connection there. So super fast screen mirroring connection. And it's working with very minimal lag. Alright, so now we're going to play some 4K video samples from a USB drive. And we're going to do this with the pre-installed Movie Player app. So I've attached my 64GB SanDisk hard drive, and the first video file we're going to play is the high bitrate Jellyfish demo. This one is 160 megabits per second, and this video file usually works on all boxes, no sweat at all. Let's go back and test the 180 megabit per second video sample, and again that's playing back, super smooth with no issues there. Now the real test, you need a pretty decent box to be able to do this. 400 megabits per second video sample. Starts off a bit stuttery and then it smooths itself out. I think that's acceptable. It's pretty smooth playback at 400 megabits per second. So next up, I tested out a bunch of 4K 60 video samples with various HDR formats, and as you guys just saw, they're all playing back nice and smooth with no issues. And just to see what happens, I also tested out an AV1 sample, and as you guys can see, AV1 sample is also supported. Alright, so moving on to the 4K YouTube test, starting off with the usual Costa Rica demo. And I can confirm YouTube streams at a maximum of 4K 60 with HDR.
Could someone please tell me what the hell is going on?
You killed a boy at your school.
What have I done? I couldn't stop.
It's not your
उस दिन पार्क में क्या हुआ था? सच बताओ.
You can do whatever the f you want.
Or we were enemies. We were like brothers. You ready?
Okay, so moving on to the Netflix test. And as you guys can see, Netflix is limited to SD quality. And just to confirm, if we go into playback specifications for Netflix, you can see Widevine level 3, maximum playback resolution, SD quality, and you can see the codecs supported and HDR is not supported. So again, Netflix is limited to SD quality. Okay, so next up I tested out Amazon Prime Video, and I'm pleased to inform you that Amazon Prime Video does stream at 1080p with HDR max. Now next up I searched for Disney Plus in the Play Store, and unfortunately it was not available to download. So I ended up downloading Disney Plus from APK Pure. So unfortunately I could not get Disney Plus to work. Every time I open the app and try to log in, it closes the app. So the app crashes. So unfortunately Disney Plus will not work on this box. Alright, so now it's time for some gaming, and we're going to do a basic gaming test starting off with Crossy Roads. Let's go. Now for you advanced users, DRM info actually shows Google Widevine level 1, which is strange because Netflix earlier detected level 3. So something strange is going on here. Now under CPU Z, we can check out the clock speeds, and you can see we are running the Mali G57. Here are the results for the internal disk speeds. We achieve read speeds of 161 megabytes per second and write speeds of 208 megabytes per second. Moving on to the benchmarks, Geekbench 6 was not available to download from the Play Store, so I had to sideload Geekbench 5, which appears to be working fine. Okay, so the results for Geekbench: single core score 382 and multi-core score of 680. The Antutu benchmark test, we achieved 215K. So let's see how that compares with the others. And here is my top Android TV box performance chart for 2024, showing you the latest TV boxes and seeing how they compare with each other. And the ranking is based on Antutu benchmark scores. And based on that, you can see the new UGOOS SK1 takes position 8 on this chart with a benchmark score of 215. I've also given this box a rating out of 5, and I've rated it a 4 out of 5. So from this chart, you can see the performance scores and my overall rating all color coded to make it easier for you to read. Now you can read the full versions of all my charts online at chigstech.com and read them at your leisure and completely free of charge. So there you have it, guys. That was the UGOOS SK1. And here are my thoughts. Design and build quality are quite good, and as expected, UGOOS has many deep customization features like no other TV box out there. Box comes with root switch, supports screen mirroring for both Android and iOS. 4K videos via USB is very good, plays everything you throw at it with no stutter or lag. On the streaming side, this thing supports 4K YouTube, 1080p on Amazon Prime, but Netflix was unfortunately limited to SD quality, and I could not get Disney Plus to work at all. Dolby Vision and ATMOS is supported, but not in the main streaming apps, may be useful for USB video playback. So a few drawbacks to mention: Netflix SD, no microSD expansion, and Disney Plus not supported. Furthermore, the box is also quite highly priced at £157. At this price point, one would expect proper Widevine Level 1 and Netflix 4K certifications. The power, performance and customization options is quite nice to have if you can get past those caveats. Now with all of that being said, if you want to see more of my latest and greatest unbiased tech reviews, hit the like button, sub to the channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.